Peter here, aka Peter Freakout 10, bringing an episode of the Movie Review Show, where the good movies are always reviewed. Okay, back into our movie review today. And I'm continuing my summer movie reviews, baby. Hell to the hotness. Okay. Now, on today's episode, I'm going to take a look at a film where to start with this? Today's film, let's just say when it came out, didn't achieve a thing when it was in the theaters, because this was a film that was buried at the bottom of the ocean with a brick attached to it, and to this day, there are people who seem to really not know about this film. There really aren't that much people, granted, as a fan base, but this is a film that really seems to be forgotten. And what film is that, you may ask? That film is none other than Deep Rising. Hell yes, baby. Now, Deep Rising was a film made back in 1998, and this was directed by Stephen Sommers, who also wrote the film. Now, Stephen Sommers, before this, he directed Huckleberry Finn with Elijah Wood. He also went on to do The Mummy with Brendan Fraser, which was like his big break. Then, did he do The Mummy Returns? I could be wrong, but The Mummy was like his big break. And yeah, I think he did do The Mummy Returns. But out of all the films he's directed, Deep Rising seems to be the one that everybody forgets, and it seems to be the one everybody says is his weakest effort. Granted, it has a fan base, but this is a film that, when it came out, it bombed so hard. I mean, literally. What was the budget for the film? Because I know it bombed big time. With a budget of $45 million, it only made $11.2 million. Whew. So that's a pretty big bomb. And just to put salt on the wound, critics were no fair to the film as was the box office returns, because this film got negative reviews. It has a 31% on Rotten Tomatoes based on 29 reviews. And the one who was the hardest on this film was Roger Ebert, who awarded the film half a star out of 4. Half a star out of 4. But if you look at IMDb, it has a 6 out of 10, which I think is pretty good. But Roger Ebert stated in his own words that this film is essentially an alien clone with a paint job. You gave half a star to this, yet Speed 2 gets the pass? What is up with you, Roger Ebert? What is up with you? And that's my question. Why did this film bomb? Why did this film bomb? Why did it have to get such negative reviews? Why is it that this film is forgotten? Why is it that this film gets half a star, yet Speed 2, which I compare to this because it has the idea on a cruise ship, that gets more praise from Roger Ebert than this? A film that is set on a cruise ship and it's supposed to be fast, yet the film wastes so much time on there, it doesn't feel fast, and horrible acting, horrible directing from Jan de Bont, who pretty much lost his way after the first Speed. And Jan de Bont should retire after that film, but no, he doesn't want to. But why does this film get the beating? This is ridiculous. I mean, it's your opinion, but I don't get it. I don't get it. This is one of those films that I'm baffled by the hate. This is one of those films that I'm baffled by so much negativity. I'm baffled by how much hate this film got. And Roger Ebert's dumb review where he calls it an alien clone. This film is far from an alien clone, Roger Ebert. I'm calling you that because you just lay eggs of hate. That's all you lay. Eggs of hate on movies that don't deserve it. And this is one of them. And yet in the same thing, And yet, that same year, you put this on the worst films of the year list. And along with Phantoms. Phantoms! After that tirade there, let me explain. The film stars Treat Williams, but before this he was in a film called Hair, which I have not seen. And this is a guy who really didn't get much. I know he did some stuff, but what else has he done? He was in The Prince of the City. He was in Once Upon a Time in America. Oh, I forgot he was in that. Yeah, so this guy's gone on to do some good stuff. You also have Famke Johnson. She was in House on Haunted Hill. Before this, she was in Lords of Illusions, which I like. Lords of Illusions is an awesome film. She would go on to be Jean Grey in X-Men. Really excited to see her in X2, X-Men United. And what's funny is Famke Johnson was also in Lords of Illusions, along with this other guy, Kevin J. O'Connor, who is this other guy, Tatsuchi, I think his name is, who, I like this guy. He was also in The Mummy. He was actually the sleazebag in The Mummy as Joey Tedesco. Joey Hollywood said it. Wes Studi's here. Derek O'Connell, Desmond Hansu, and Cliff Robertson's actually in this film. I was actually surprised. I'm like, holy heck, that's Cliff Robertson. And pretty much, Anthony Held's here, Jason Fleming. So the cast I really, really like. But I'm going to be honest here. When I first saw this film for the first time, I was like, yeah, I wasn't really that much of a fan of it. But that was a long time ago, and after seeing Jurassic Godzilla fan, which there are some fans of this film, as I said. I know my friend Jurassic Godzilla fan, I know he loves the film, and he's actually one of the few people who actually made me want to go back and rewatch the film, and I actually picked up the DVD for Christmas, because I actually saw like a few scenes on TV of the film, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to want to watch this again. But he likes the film. I should say he likes it. He loves the film, considers it one of his favorites. I know Rambo Rat for Life, I know he loves the film, considers it one of his favorites, which I agree with. You also have OCP Communication, who also seemed to enjoy the film, because he did like a thing with Rambo Rat for Life called Box Office Bombs, where they talked about this film, and they seemed to have great respect for it. And I gotta say, rewatching it, I love this movie. I have to say, this is one of my all-time favorite monster films. I feel I have a lot more respect for this film watching it again. And I remember another thing that attracted me to this film. Just want to point this out. I've always loved the poster of the film that Jurassic Godzilla fan had of the film, which was basically where it was, because this is a monster movie, it's basically where it had the eye and it was in like the water. If I can get it up here, but it's a really cool poster. There was like two versions of the poster, but I was actually trying to get one of those posters, but I had such a hard time finding it. I don't know. And Jurassic Godzilla fan, can you tell me where you got that poster? I would love to have that in my room. But this is it. This poster, I love this poster. That poster is awesome. So I just love the eye thing, especially with the Jeepers Creepers poster. I just love that about the film, like the eye coming out of something, of a monster, because it creates this deal of mystery. But Deep Rising, getting back to the film, I really, really enjoy this film, and this is one of my all-time favorite monster films. It's up there. It's probably up there, I'd say, with Jeepers Creepers. I'd probably say it's up there with Pumpkinhead 2, among many others. I just really enjoy this film. I never understood the hate this film got, but I'll get into why later. And first thing I gotta say, I love how the film opens. I really love how the film opens, where when the Hollywood Pictures logo comes up, you hear like this, and you get like this text through about the area, like going through like the areas deeper than the Himalayas, and throughout the centuries, countless vessels have gone missing in this area, and their disappearance has remained a mystery. and you hear that music like, I don't know how to do it, but it's like, I just love that thing. I think the score is one of the things I like. But as the film opens, you see like you see this thing that looks like an octopus, and you don't know what the heck it is, and you see it like in the water and whatnot. And that opening just got me into the film. That opening, I was like, I'm in for this. And then we meet our main character, played by Treat Williams, who's leading these group of bad guys. Kevin J. O'Connor is Tatucci. He's with his girlfriend. Anthony Held. Wes Studi. Djimon Hounsou as well. Derek O'Connor, as I said, is one of... Not Derek O'Connor. Kevin J. O'Connor. Is he related to Derek O'Connor? I could be wrong, but... basically, they've been hired by this guy who owns this cruise ship to basically go through the ship and destroy it for insurance. And this guy is throwing this party on the ship where everything is like fancy and whatnot, and as they're having this party, someone shuts down the ship. And basically, we learn that the same guy who owns the ship wants to shut it down, and he's the main reason the insurance thing is going on. And basically, they caught a bad time to do it, because as they're doing it, this giant like squid, which is something that people something that people are in the middle about. Some people say they're worms. Some people call it a kraken. I call it a squid. I don't know why. I just think it's a squid because it has like the tentacles and whatnot. They stop the ship and everybody gets eaten up. And basically, the hijackers get to the ship and everybody's gone. They have no idea what is going on. They find blood, and they meet up with one of the survivors of it, this woman, played by Famke Janssen, who, at the beginning of the film, we learn that she's a thief, and that they put her in a brick because she was stealing stuff. And basically, she joins them in trying to stop it, and pretty much this monster, the monster is basically like this squid-like monster, as I said, and it has like these tentacles, and these tentacles basically... They're different from other tentacles because they have like this mouth in them, and they open up and it's like this, and pretty much they'll take you in and they'll suck you bone dry and spit you out. And basically they're all on this ship trying to survive, and they all are left with nothing but these cool guns that look like chain guns that you could carry around, and they're all in like caught in the middle of this whole catastrophe, and now they're all trying to survive. Will they be able to survive, or will they be the next choice on the menu for Squid Del Fisco? Now, Deep Rising, I gotta say, I already said it, I love this movie. This movie is just fantastic. This film did not deserve the hate it got, and I think if it was released today, I think it would have gotten a better reputation than it did. Because this film, I think, is really, really unique. And I'm going to say this. This is probably the best killer squid film out there. I literally think that. Because I've seen a lot of the B-horror squid films, which are goofy as heck, and I can't really get into them, which I know that's stupid, but I cannot get into them. But this film, I really, really enjoy. Probably because I like the story, and I don't understand Roger Ebert's complaint about the film with it being an alien paint job. I don't see it. Just because it's set on a ship and they can't get off it, I don't see that as a ripoff of Alien. It's literally not. I think it does its own thing with it. And this is a different type of monster from the monster in Alien. And I really like... And I do like the fact that it's not being a direct interpretation of Alien. I think Roger Ebert looked at the movie wrong, and I feel that it really was doing its own thing. I don't see any problem with the alien side to it. I think it's really, really well done, the film. I think it does a good job separating itself from Alien. So, Roger Ebert, I don't know what movie you were watching, but this is not a direct Alien clone. I really enjoy the story. I like the production design on the ship. I thought it was really well done. I love how before, when they even get onto the ship and everybody's partying, I love the design of it. I love the area surrounding it. I thought they were all really well designed, and I think they really did a good job with handling its budget and not making the ship look fake. And I just feel they did it really, really well in this movie. I think they did a really good job with the ship itself. And this is a different type of idea. Granted, you had Leviathan, but that was more in like an underwater city as opposed to like a ship. This, however, I think does its job because it does something different and it doesn't hurt the film. Granted, when some films do it differently, it really at times hurts the film, but I really love the ship. I really love the idea of the squid getting on the ship and really getting into it and eating everybody, and it really does it in a way where it becomes a fun monster film with a lot of sci-fi elements in the film, and it becomes a fun popcorn movie. It's fun, the film. And I don't see how, I just don't get the alien paint job thing that Roger Ebert said, and I have great respect for Roger Ebert, don't get me wrong, but at times I feel that some of his reviews come off as nitpicks and really don't examine the film as its own. Instead, they compare it to something else. If you don't like the film, that's fine. If you agree with Roger Ebert, that's fine. I just don't get it. But I really love the setting, and I feel the story is really well done. I like the mix of the black comedy, and I really do like the mix of its horror and sci-fi aspect. I think it does a really good job mixing the two together. And it doesn't come off as campy as everybody says it does. I don't feel this film comes off as campy as everybody says it does. Because I've heard people call this film cheesy, campy. I never understood that. I never understood what exactly campy is about this film. And I hate using the word campy and cheesy. I just hate it. I'm like, what's a cheesy? I stole that from Ramble Rat for Life. But I agree with him. But I really don't get how cheesy this film is. I think it takes itself seriously, and it does it in a way where it's not hammering into you like, we're serious, we're serious, we're serious. And I really like that about the film. And I also think the film does a good job with its scares. And I love the scene where one of the guys, Dishman Hansu, he's basically like one of the guys there, and he's basically like watching the guys, and he hears something in this room which is all filled with water, and he goes like to find the source of the sound, and he comes across the monster. Like, he goes down a corridor, and basically the monster eats him, and he throws his gun up in the air, and it lands right in the middle with Treat Williams, Kevin J. O'Connor, and this other guy. And I thought that was a really unique scene. I really felt that was a really unique scene. Because I thought it created a great deal of scares, and it's definitely a way to say something's up. That's, to me, that's how I feel. There's something up right now. But, yeah. And the humor in this film, as I said, really does work. I really like Kevin J. O'Connor's character. I think he's the best character in the film. I love the scene with him where pretty much where these guys are getting ready to beat on him because they find because he found out about the missiles in this room, and he's like, if there's anything you want me to do, just tell me, or something like that. And I also like the scene with him where he's taking a break, and he's eating a peanut, and he's like getting ready to get it over to Treat Williams. Is like, what are you doing? He's like, peanut. And he's like, what? Peanut. And then he drops the peanut in the water. He's like, dang it. And I was like, hey, at least you got the salt off. It'll be more healthier for you. But I love the Kevin J. O'Connor. I love the humor in this film as a whole, and I think it was really well done. I think Steven Sommers did a great job with it. And I gotta say, I like this just a tiny bit more than than The Mummy. I like The Mummy Returns, but I like it a little bit more than The Mummy. I gotta say that. I just feel this film is just fun. I think it's a lot funner than The Mummy, and I think it does a better job handling its material than The Mummy did. Because while I love The Mummy, I really feel that this film, to me, does its job with giving giving a better balance between the humor and the scares. So, love how the film is handled in its story. And the acting in this film is top-notch. Treat Williams, I thought, was fantastic in the film. I thought he was a very likable character. He was strong. He wasn't wimpy. You cared about him. And as he went through the film, you really start to grow attached to him. And he has some funny lines, too. I really love the scene where he's like, where the creature grabs him, and you basically see him, he puts him close to his eye, and he's like, what are you looking at? He pulls out a shotgun, bam! Shoots out his eye, and I really do like that scene. And I also really like the scene where they're in the elevator, and he's like, and they're like playing this elevator music, and he's like, what is that? And Kevin J. O'Connor is like, Deltamina or something, I forget, but I thought that was hilarious. And also like the one scene where he's getting in a fight with these guys trying to save Kevin J. O'Connor, and he's like, everybody alright? Anybody get shot? That was hilarious. Treat Williams I thought was a likable protagonist. Fopka Johnson I thought was one of the highlights of the film, who, yes, is smoking hot, and I really do like her character. Again, she's not a damsel in distress. I love the scene where where Treat Williams is about to be captured. She comes back with a pistol and starts shooting the monster. And I thought she was likable. At the beginning, you don't seem to care about her, but as the film goes along, you really start to like her character, and you really start to grow an attachment to her, as you do with some of the others. Wes Studi here is kind of more of the human bad guy, because he kind of forces everybody onto the ship, and he does, even though Treat Williams is like, I don't want to be involved. He really becomes more of the bad guy, and really enough, you just hate his guts, because he does some of the dumbest things you've ever seen, and he doesn't have a reasoning behind some of the dumbest things he does, and I liked him. I liked his perception of that, and I really felt it was really, really well done. So, overall, I really like Wes Studi, and he definitely gets what's coming to him at the end. I can say that again. And Kevin J. O'Connor, I already talked a lot about this guy. I really like him. He's probably my favorite character in the film. Derek O'Connor, I thought, did a good job. Jason Fleming, Jashmad Hunsu, and Cliff Robertson, I also feel, does a great job here, too. Really, really good job with the film. And the music by Jerry Goldsmith, as I said, that one score in the beginning is fantastic. I also really like the score when they first see the creature, and it's like, boop, 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 boop. Something like that. I can't do it. I like the... But I really like Jerry Goldsmith's score. I know that's one of the complaints Rambo Rap for Life had, but it really wasn't. It really did need it like that. It really did seem that bad, the score. But moving on, the one thing I do love about the film are the creatures. The creatures themselves are fantastic. I really love the design of the creature itself, like the tentacles and stuff, and the effects in this film are tremendous. The CGI, I feel, is really well done, and this is how you do CGI. It kind of reminds me of how they did it in Jurassic Park, because they mix practical effects with CGI, and the CGI is really, really well done. It's definitely well handled. Some of the one scene where all the bodies are left bruised and are left blooded out and whatnot, and they look tremendous. They have great practical effects in this film. And there's like skulls everywhere, and it's slimy, some of the bodies. They have great practical effects in this film. Some of the deaths in this film are gruesome. To me, probably my favorite one is this, which, gotta say, the creature CGI, I think, looks fantastic, as I already said. And I think they do a good job with the CGI. I think they handle it well. And I don't think they blow it on the CGI. I don't think they rely on it that much. And that's what I really, really love about the film, is that they don't rely on the CGI that much. Now, I know a lot of people complain about it, but octopuses move fast. Octopuses move very fast, so you can't get a clear look at them. And that's what I really love. I think the fact that they move so fast, I think that's how they handle it well. And I think that the CGI really incorporates it into a particular scene. And even when it's up close, the CGI looks fine. I don't see how people hate it. Like, I love the scene with one of the guys, how it's like this. Say the guy's like behind him, it's like right here, and he shoots at it. And there's some good CGI and practical effects in this film. But the one scene I've always loved in this film, and I was like, ugh, this guy gets it the worst. It's where one of the guys gets caught, he's about to be digested, and they shoot at it, he comes out, and he's like screaming, and half his face is like melted away, and like, you see his teeth here, and his fingers are like this, he's like, and it's so like gruesome, and I'm like, this guy gets it the worst. He literally gets it the worst. That's how gruesome this film is. This is such a gruesome movie, and I think Stephen Sommers did such a fun job with this movie. I think he did a great job too. You can tell he had fun with the idea. You can tell that he's going for something, but the critics did not get it. I want to slap all of them until they actually could say something. It makes me want to go in there. It makes my blood boil. This is why they didn't get it. This is why they didn't get a sequel, because it bombed and whatnot. But this deserved a sequel, and this deserves a better DVD too. This DVD sucks anyway. This is like the sound is off a bit, but the coloring work. The color's there, but there's no features. If you go on YouTube, there's like a featurette on there. Why not put that on the DVD or something? I don't know why, but that's really a minor complaint. But the film is awesome. I never understood the hate this film got. Heck, even my brother hates this movie. My brother hates this movie too. I don't know why. But if there is one complaint I could say, it's definitely the ending, because they find themselves in a situation worse than the one they were already in, and I felt like, was that needed for this? How about showing them get away, but still showing that the monster is alive? Like, having the tentacles move or something. Like, how about having them get away instead of that whole thing? But I just really did not like that about the film, and I felt that could have been addressed a lot better. But overall, Deep Rising is a fun popcorn movie that anybody can enjoy. And I feel that it's extremely underrated. It's a diamond in the rough for me, and I feel it's a film that if you liked monster movies, or you like giant big monsters and whatnot, you're gonna like Deep Rising. I really, really enjoyed this film, and I thank Jurassic Godzilla fan for introducing me to the film, and I thank Rambo Rat for Life for introducing me to it too. And that's where I go to find some stuff about good movies to watch and whatnot. They get their facts right, and I thank them both for introducing me to this film. So either way, highly recommend you go check out Deep Rising. And I think we need more people who like it, and I think one day I would love to see a sequel. Stephen Sommers, if you're watching this, stop The Mummy and come back to this and look at the fans who actually love the film. I think this film could still get a sequel if Stephen Sommers actually looked at the people who actually loved the film and actually understood it and actually saw the love that this film got on DVD and video, because it deserves it. So that brings me to my final verdict. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. Great movie, and it gets my seal of approval. If you're going to watch this film, don't listen to the critics. Judge it on your own merits. If you don't like the movie, that's fine. I think it's extremely underrated, and I think it deserves more than it got. So really, definitely check out Deep Rising. But that's my review for Deep Rising. Next time I'm going to do a review of The Master of Disguise, which I'm going to say what you guys are not going to like. And next time I'm going to do a review of, then after that I got to review Triple X. Cannot wait to review that. And then I'm going to review this film, saw it last night. I'm going to tell you guys what I think of it. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Tell me what you guys think of Deep Rising. If you guys have seen it, in the comments below. And be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.